Welcome, Mr. Secretary. It's good to have you here. Thank you to you and your team for your hard work and for your focus on preventative measures. I think that point of emphasis of the Make America Healthy Again movement is important. Focusing more broadly on wellness as opposed to just healthcare and health delivery is important. I also appreciate the attention and interest you've shown in with respect to long COVID. This collection of symptoms that remain after people get COVID and has an economic cost globally of conservatively at $1 trillion per year. It's adversely impacting millions of Americans. No doubt is having some impact on our long-term unemployment rate, and people need some hope. And I think you offered some hope. For starters, during your confirmation hearings when you told me you were going to prioritize this issue. Secondarily, when you held a roundtable session bringing in some of our nationally renowned doctors who have expertise in this area. I'd like an update, sir. How are you working with your FDA Commissioner, McCary, and our NIH Director, Biotechnology, to advance treatment for long COVID?
Yes, we are, Senator, and a lot of the reforms came out of that long table. That round table. I want to thank you for your leadership. And we're working with many of the doctors that we brought in, with Bruce Patterson from California, with Jordan Vaughn from Florida, and the leading doctors who become experts in this area, and we are working to develop biomarkers. As you know, there are many, many different presentations of this disease. They have to be identified and diagnosed differently. They have to be treated differently. We are identifying the biomarkers for those. We're putting everything up on a website so that patients will have access to the best care and the best doctors who have had the most success in treating their particular form of the illness.
Well, there's urgency to this. Thank you for prioritizing this. I will ask again for your commitment to continue to work together on this. Do I have it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And I'll see Dr. Alicia Jackson later today. Of course, our director of ARPA-H. This seems to lend itself to the ARPA-H model in light of the fact that once we come up with treatments, diagnostics, et cetera, it typically takes 2 decades to find their way out in the clinical practice. We can't wait for that. So moving on to biotechnology more generally, for the last couple of years, I've chaired a National Security Commission on Emerging Biotechnology. Bottom line up front, we have assessed that unless we optimize our nation's biotech research, development, production, and innovation ecosystem, we are at risk of falling behind the Chinese Communist Party, our primary adversaries by my lights in biotechnology, which has direct national security, economic security implications. In 2022, Chinese pharmaceutical companies accounted for just 5% of licensing deals. By 2025, that figure jumped to 42%. I've been encouraged to see the FDA under your leadership speed up approval times for drugs, but I think more needs to be done. We outlined some of this in our report, which can be found at biotech.senate.gov. How, Mr. Secretary, can we work together to spur further domestic development and investment in the U.S. biotech industry?
Yeah, and last year, 50% of the new drugs approved came out of China, and that rate is increasing exponentially. And they're stealing our IP, they're stealing our researchers, they're stealing our best scientists. They're operating duplicate labs in other countries, and it's a crisis. They're threatening our biosecurity and our public health and our dominance in the area. As you pointed out, we have speeded the length of time from concept to commercialization dramatically. We just approved in record time 2 oncology drugs, one in 54 days, one in 45 days. The average for that part of the of the process was, before that was 310 days.
Yes.
And both of those are drugs that bring people out of a hospice. Literally, they're so effective. We are now doing inspections in China, so we're dramatically ramping up our inspection of Chinese sites. A lot of them are violating ethics, the clinical trial sites. They're using minorities against their will and doing all these kind of mischief that needs to be exposed. We are investing hundreds of millions of dollars in reshoring KSMs and APIs in this country so that we can end that chain. And we have a pre-check program that encourages pharmaceutical companies to build in this country. The ones that produce the drugs here, if they research them here, they will be given preference and be able to move up in the line.
Thank you so much for your leadership as it relates to this issue, Mr. Chairman.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.